Yesterday, the Washington Post published an article that gives evidence that the entire archive of a newspaper I worked for was destroyed in a catch and kill operation because of a story I wrote. The paper was called The Hook, and I was the first employee hired in 2002 when it launched. We did deep investigative reporting on all kinds of issues, from local political intrigue to big crimes that were happening in Charlottesville. I covered the deaths of Morgan Harrington and Hannah Graham, for instance. We also did profiles of hundreds of people in Charlottesville for all the good work that they were doing. The Hook newspaper shut down in 2013, and for the next 9 years or so, the online archives were maintained by the other weekly paper in Charlottesville. So my colleagues and I from The Hook noticed that the site was down in late spring at some point, and I assumed it was just a glitch of some kind that could be fixed with a phone call. So I made a call and I said, "Hey, can you get the site back up?" And what I learned was that someone had approached the paper with an unsolicited offer for a lot of money to buy the Hook archives. And the owners of the other paper had accepted that offer, and they didn't know who it was. A defunct newspaper does not have much monetary value. It's valuable to the community, it's valuable to the public, it's valuable to journalists who use those old stories for current reporting so that they can have context. But paying a lot of money doesn't make a lot of sense. So my colleagues and I immediately started to worry that it could be a catch and kill. Somebody who was mad about something we wrote came forward and paid to get rid of the whole thing. My colleagues and I weren't sure where to begin, so we launched a petition on change.org, and we got over 1,000 signatures from people in the community who were also upset that these archives had disappeared. And then we got a tip. A website called Lumen tracks copyright challenges online, and the new anonymous owner of ReadTheHook.com had been making some challenges for content published on Read the Hook or on other sites that were republishing. 14 of the 18 complaints referred to one story. This story I wrote. It covered an accusation of sexual assault and a mother's fight for justice. One of the people named in that story is a man named Curtis Ofori, who attended UVA, and a university investigation into the accusation had found that he used very bad judgment, according to the Post, but found him not guilty. Susan Russell's daughter had filed a lawsuit against him, but withdrawn, her mother says, because of financial reasons. We don't know if there's any way to get the archive back online. In fact, there probably isn't. But this matters to me, and not only because it's 10 years of my work and my colleagues' work, 22,000 stories. It matters because it was intended to be a resource for the public. That's what journalism is. And no one should be able to destroy something like that because they don't like a story.